Hello Leo, and welcome to your February 2021 video. My name is Zara and I'm going to take you through the astrology for February. So in February we have Mercury retrograde, and Mercury will be retrograding in your 7th house of relationships and relating and communicating with others. The 7th house is how we relate. How do we communicate when it comes to our business relationships and also personal relationships, especially love relationships. Love as in marriage or dating, those kinds of things. And Mercury is the planet of communication. It's our thoughts, and it being retrograde can really make us feel fuzzy when it comes to our thoughts and like lacking clarity about what we're thinking. But it does take us into the past to give us a different perspective. So we do tend to feel foggy. So miscommunication can happen. Feeling a bit tired during that time is most certainly something of Mercury retrograde. And it's a good time to kind of not, and if you can avoid it, to get into any new contracts, new business arrangements. Generally, we feel that, we didn't see things clearly. However, if you do have to do it during Mercury retrograde, just make sure that you read through everything before you send it, before you sign anything. Just be certain about it. Also, we have the Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn all in your 7th house. And then on the 2nd of February, Venus also joining the 7th house. And then on the 11th of February, a new moon happening in your 7th house. There's a lot of energy in your 7th house, as you can tell. And the 7th house is about relating, it's about relationships, it's about communication. It's very important for you during this time to communicate how you feel and what you want to say in a way that is compassionate and understanding. That can be hard sometimes because Mercury retrograde can bring up things from the past and bring up past feelings and make us feel sort of a bit emotional when it comes to these things, especially with things of the past. But it's a good time for healing, a good time for getting deeper understanding, a good way for gaining different perspective on how you want to relate to other people specifically. It also can bring in new relationships. It can also bring healing to existing relationships. And when it comes to your business partnerships, just remember to also be very, sure of what you're doing and read through everything properly. Then on the 19th, the Sun joins Neptune in your 8th house. Now, the Sun and Neptune in the 8th house is all about spirituality. It's about connecting deeper to your spiritual self, especially with Neptune being there and the Sun. The Sun basically shines light, and you rule by the Sun. So it brings this bright light into this 8th house of, things that are deeper, a deeper understanding to a sense of spirituality, a deeper understanding of ourselves, and also wanting to take you deeper into that spiritual world. So anything when it comes to chakra balancing, modalities, when it comes to healing, holistic healing, tarot card reading, astrology, wanting all of those things, crystals, really looking at those things and how you can utilize them, or even a spiritual path. People generally take a deeper spiritual path, and especially because there's so much happening early in the month in your relationship sector, it does make us really look at ourselves, reevaluate where we stand within our relationships. Then also Mercury will go direct on the 21st of February. So anything that you want to basically move forward with, you can. Also note, during Mercury retrograde, you can, however, complete things that you did previously. So sometimes an opportunity that you were thinking about previously didn't really work out, and during Mercury retrograde, all of a sudden it works out. Like now you can actually have the energy to do it. Great time for completing, not a good time to start something completely new. Remember that. Then on the 27th, we have a full moon in your 2nd house. The full moon in the 2nd house is basically wanting you to look at your money, your value, your support, all of those things, people that support you, what makes you feel comfortable, how comfortable are you feeling? And also when it comes to your money, how have you been spending, what have you been doing with your finances? That's that energy with the full moon that wants to bring that light to. There might be certain things you need to release. Maybe there's certain things you don't want to. You'll be looking at that and saying, oh, that's like, I don't really need that anymore. I don't need to have that subscription, certain things like that when it comes to the 2nd house. But also support and value, looking at the people around you. Do they offer support? Are you surrounded by people that offer you value, make you feel comfortable? Because the 2nd house wants to feel comfortable, also wants to feel worthy, all of those things. And you, Leo, love to feel those things of a sense of self-worth, a sense of confidence. So here it gives you a great opportunity to take away anything that's making you feel unsure or either insecure or unconfident within your own self. Also do note, because there's so much in Aquarius, your 7th house. You also have the square to Uranus happening, and this can make you want to, or create, where things just change when it comes to career, relationships, where people feel like they don't no longer want to be together, breakups, or even bringing in somebody completely new. Uranus is that planet of change, and that square to your relationship house is wanting to bring about new things. So maybe even starting a new career, starting something new, all of these ideas floating around. Uranus does that with all this change that it brings to you. So just embrace that, be gentle with yourself, take lots of time out, take time to nurture yourself while you're going through all these changes. And also look at yourself, because when we have so much energy in our 7th house of relating and partnering up with other people and talking to other people, and when it comes to love, it also pushes you out and wants to put you in relationships. You need to look at yourself. How are you feeling? Do you feel good? Are you feeling, loved? Are you loving yourself? Have you dealt with your emotional sense of self when getting into relationships? So just be aware of that. Thank you so much for watching. Wishing you a wonderful February.